Hello everybody. How are we doing? Apparently I'm doy voicing here. Hello people. Also, why am I here? Hold on. Let me go over here. Also, hi everyone. Also, for anyone pissing, enjoy your piss. What I was actually going to say there was for anyone who is there? Okay, there we go. Hold on. Where is? I don't care. I'll find another thing. Hello everyone. For everyone wondering, oh, is this gonna be a Loon handcam stream? No, I had to find another way around this. Why? Because handcam streams with my setup are a pain in the ass that require me to move my entire setup to a different computer, which also requires me to be working off of a 720p TV as a second monitor while I'm looking up to the left with my terrible vision trying to see anything actually relevant on an even 1080p monitor. Handcam streams are a pain in my ass. So, whereas I was ranting and then we're getting to you, okay, I had to remove this is the you that was already in here, and because you're so needy and have a special request of which version of yourself you want, you get to have me waiting a little bit longer onto here. Also, hold on a minute. Didn't I have this? No, where? Which route is this? Hold on. Oh, god damn it. Well, hold on. There's gonna be unfitting music for a little bit here. Hold on. Where the piss is? Yeah, screw it. Never mind. We're gonna do the scuff. Look, this is what happens when I have an idea super last second. Oh, hey, and the frames are dropping. That's the full scuff. Either way, we're gonna ignore that. But yes, for those wondering, I took pictures of assorted amounts of cards that I thought would be fun to look at for this because, there's almost 500 cards of note, and by of note, I mean that have some level of monetary value. And obviously, I don't exactly, well, actually, I could go through them if I just went through them quick. But oh my Jesus Christ, why is this happening? How's Twitch holding up? I got, well, hey, always a reminder, Twitch does exist and tends to handle my internet frames better. But where the piss did I want to grab a thing? That. Why do I have this, that. This. That go here, these go here. But how's everyone doing before we get started? How's this going? Twitch exists for your streak? Yep, for you to streak, that is what Twitch exists for. Pretty much only at this point. This. Alright, and we get that version of you in there. Hold on. Yeah, no, this is you being an incredibly needy and derailing everything. There you go. You get to be like there or something. There. I screw myself higher up. There. And then can you burr? There you burr. There. Get rid of the other one, and there we go. There is that. Hi everyone. Welcome to Loon did some digging and realized I had you're done with that one. Oh fun. How fun. Did some digging because some stuff happened and I was like, oh, I should look at my Pokemon cards and see some value, see if anything there is of like sparking memory or monetary value. Cause again, I'll tell you, so I'm gonna give a little hinty here, right at the rip, of I effectively just took the TCG Player app, scanned all the cards, and any of them that was under $2 in value, I was just like, okay, put these off to the side. I think there were over 500 cards that ended up taken to the scan that I kept in there. And by the end of this, we're gonna play a nice little game called what is the rough estimate value for Loon's Pokemon cards, at least as far as stuff is going. Because I thought, also this is as the description says, complete coincidence this is happening on Pokemon the 30th anniversary thing. I just so happened to do this yesterday. Ugh. And therefore one is just like, yeah, screw it, let's do a stream for this. I just wish I had, and I would have probably set it up properly for hand cam if I had more than a couple hours today to do that. However, I didn't. Therefore, we're doing it with the I took some pictures and we're going to look. How old are these cards approximately? Well, they vary. And we're just going to, hold on, we're just gonna, We'll start simple with, these are just fancy energy cards that I found. And for anyone being like, oh, look, I don't see what's special about the energies or anything like that, I would like to point out, this right here is probably over $100 of energies. Just because of the fancy ones. I forget what, yeah, these were just like special prints. A lot of them are the foils. You can see a little double up on the fire one up there. And then, I think, yeah, these ones are all these special energies up here. I forget how, hold on, can I? Well, that is, thank you, photo. Like, I took pictures of this very specifically so that I wouldn't do glare onto stuff. I realize now I can just, meh. Ow! Oh, okay, that hurt my hair. Ow. Oh, hello there. Also, all the ones you saw in the thumbnail are indeed mine. If you see in the thumbnail, that's an idea of how old some of them are. I will openly admit, not all of them are in the best of condition, but a lot of them are still in very good condition, considering energy. Yes, Zora. Wah, la 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 la. The stuff that runs inside of me. Wah, wah. Ignore the pulsating warmth you feel behind you as I do that. I'm sure it's nothing. Must have been the wind. For reference, okay, let's just see. The fire energies, 2007. The call energy top right one, 2008, 2007, 2005 for the heal energy. 2005 for the green. The blues are assorted 2007 and 5. These are 2007. Very warm. Ignore the pulsating warmth. Oh. Hold on. But yeah, I have these all in a tin. But yeah, we're gonna play a game near the end called How Much Are All of These the cards worth in total that I scanned? Because also, yes, that is some lovely stuff. You bourbon. All right. Yeah, there's nothing too much to talk about. I also want to point out, I never actually played the Pokemon TCG as either a child or a teen or an adult. I never played this game. I just collected the cards because I thought they were pretty and never bothered to even so much as try to learn the rules. Interesting, why was that off? So, these are all just here for the sake of existing. And I just so happen to just now have them all in there. And there's no particular order into how we're looking at these. They are just by how I decided to take the pictures. They are also, I cropped the pictures so there were no, like, unnecessary extra stuff in there. But, now this is another one. What the hell am I touching? Not that. Variants in the age. That Butterfree, I believe, is from the 90s. That Swampert is a tournament-winning one from, I believe... Hold on, what? I need to have the... God, this is... Man, I really should have done this as a hand cam stream as opposed to this method, but hey, you do what you do, and you kind of just work with it. Huh, I also need better storage, and also, fair point, I still have a binder to go through that I think has less in the ways of valuable stuff, but... I still need to go through it. Just for the sake of going through it and making sure I have everything accounted for. Hold on, let me just find that Swampert real quick. Because that one is a special one that has like a special back because it was a tournament winning thingy and like an early odd thousands, I think. Where are you, Swampert? Swampert. Did I not grab the stack? Oh my god, I didn't grab the full stack. How dare I? Oh, that's the full stack. Ugh. Darkrai, favorite Pokemon? I have bad experiences of a friend in daycare who spammed Darkrai Sleep against me. I didn't have the cheating device to get Darkrai at the time, so I was at the mercy of no actual rules like Sleep Claws or anything. Entire team go Betty Bye, and Darkrai just wreak havoc. That was pain. Also, I do have the Dialga and the Darkrai right there. Those are special promo cards that came with giant versions of those cards. I also still have the giant versions. I don't know if those have listed market value because giant cards are kind of weird in that way. Over the actual title, want to sell the cards on eBay? You think I'm going to eBay? No. I'm not bothering that. We are not bothering that yet. I do not have need. Also, hello, Dino. So, where the piss is this friggin'? Oh, there's the Swampert. Okay. So for reference, the Swampert is from 2004 World Championship. It's one of those things, so it has a special back on there. And also that Butterfree is a 2002... God, what the hell set is this? The Butterfree in this picture is so shiny it's hard to read, but also I couldn't find this version of it, like this holographic, in the TCG player stuff. It only had the non-holo version, so I have no idea if the super glittery sparkly one has any extra value to it. Probably does, because shiny is shiny. God, there are a lot that I did just kind of choose to not show in here, because either warmth. There. I am now simply your warmer. That is that. Any of these special? Oh yeah. There was a thing going through these. There were a couple of styles. We're not going to see them all here. But the little clay model cards tended to be higher value than a lot of cards. Also, if it is named Pikachu, it's just got value. Is this thing I noticed. There aren't going to be a lot of Pikachus in here. But I got a few Pikachus in here that are just... If card is Pikachu, it have value. Also, funny thing... Roar of Time! I was figuring out where that came from there. Also, yeah, for some reason, Spatial Rend and Roar of Time on this promo... This Darkrai was a weird one. I was busy just like, It got them... No, you have Roar of the Apocalypse. I also don't know... Oh my god, this has been a slideshow. At least this is a stream where it doesn't entirely mind... I don't entirely mind if it's a slideshow. Also, there is another thing. I did not scan any of them or take any pictures of them. I have a lot of cards. Some of these... I don't think any of the ones I took pictures of for this are this way, but I have a bunch of cards that are, like, fake from assorted reasonings. I never did it myself. I got scammed into them as a youngin' when I was a youth. But I think most of like, there are some obvious ones where the card only exists. It's a clearly fake holographic, where it's not actually holographic. It just has the speckles on there to be like, ooh, shiny. But no. But I think I filtered out any of them that were super obviously fake. There are some that are just, I'm pained that they were fake, because god, if they were real, they'd be valued. Yeah, I do remember oh my god, I don't know why. I just had a memory of friggin' daycare with the oversized cards. I just had a memory where, because the cards were oversized, the idea was to trade for the oversized cards, you needed to give cards, little cards, in equivalent mass, or like equivalent size to the big card. So I just remember we were trying to like stack up a bunch of little cards, and I think it came to 5 cards for that big one. Is the deal that, so I forget who got what out of what. But I do just remember that funny thing of like, alright, how do we perfectly align little cards onto the big one to attempt to make that more fair? I got, the closest, there is a blue hair person here, but not no. Alright, we are on to, okay, these are, okay, the Jirachi in the bottom left is another tournament winner one. This is another case of, this is just a case of cards that what am I touching? God, I need to remember I'm doing these in a weird way. I also wish I had my phone or the TCG player thing up just as is so I could list off the value of stuff. It is so interesting to me that there's a lot of these cards I would just look at in passing and be like, oh, cool. Think nothing of it. You're almost done. For a second, without context, that kind of almost sounds AO. Considering where you're sitting. But, we'll ignore that. What is the hype about Pokemon cards? For me, the fact that I just collected them as a child and never... Worth it. And never actually played them. But also... Like, for some reason, like, a lot of the... I keep saying like a ton. Whatchamacallit? For me, these are a lot of just daycare memories and never actually... Hello, B. Never actually playing the game. But also, we're going to play a game at the end of this called... How much money did the TCG player scanning? Are we in Zelda now? There's no hey listen going on. I've never played a Zelda. I've played one Zelda game, and it was the free Four Swords game on the DS's. I have no... You've been trying to sleep for 4 hours and can't? Well, maybe some calming music along with my voice talking about Pokemon cards will be what you need in order to rest your weary head and find sleep now, traveler. Rest now upon this bed of cards and money. What background color I want? A deep violet contrasts green very nicely, yes. You had sleepers? What the piss does sleepers mean? A violet, yes, a deep violet, because that contrasts green nicely, and I'm a very big fan of contrasting colors. Sleeping meds, do you mean melatonin? Or other sleeping meds? Like, are we talking melatonin or the type of stuff that killed Michael Jackson? What are we talking about here? Yes? This was not a yes or no question. Anyway. The first option, did I say melatonin? Okay. Melatonin! There was also one card in here. Accident. Oh, lovely. I have heard some news on... heard, and by heard, I mean I look in the friggin' Discord server and see the stuff every so often. Yeah, nothing overwhelmingly special here, other than the Twin Torterras. I have multiple prints of a lot of these cards that I just don't want to show a lot of. I also tend to notice, this is very reflective of me just in starter preference in general. Where's the Holo Charizard? We'll get to that. Well, we're not to the Holo Charizard yet, but you will notice something special here. I'll give you a minute to figure out what the special thing here is. Data miners and leaders. No. Leaders was the one you wanted in there. Hold on. We will get to... Look, if you saw the thumbnail, you know there is at least a variant of Charizard here. Let's just zoom in real quick. Also, this is the thing I noticed. If it was an evolution, it tended to have higher value there. The Mew you had to translate. I don't even think... That is referred to as Ancient Mew. I don't even know if it actually translates. It is in no way tournament legal. But also you can even... It's so bad that you can see it. You can see the damage the card has, even in this picture. Bearing in mind, I'll actually say this. The card has not gotten into worse condition since I obtained it. I want to say like 15 years ago-ish. I obtained this card in this condition. Which is a little upsetting that it's like, eh. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yu-Gi-Oh cards you can at least read. And also there's not 20,000 characters on it. I mean, sometimes you do, and it is just a fun. Collecting things. It is a fun thing, especially when I'm looking back on these. This is also a fun thing. I didn't include any of them. You have your Mew plush. Yes, and I have this Mew, which, funny enough, is not as valuable as I would have thought. I think it's like an $80 Mew. if it were in, like, good condition. I guess I'm giving slight hints as to total value. But yeah, the rest are Gen 4. This is an old... I can't tell. I think that's base set. Yeah, that's base set Tangela. Not first edition base set, but that is a base set Tangela. And then we got a bunch of the... You also have too many Zora, we have had our plushie discussion and exchange. Like, plushies are lovely and cuddleable and happy fun times. You cannot have too many plushies. You can only ever have not enough. If you can count them, that is not enough. You need to not be able to count them. Hold on. Yeah, these little sets from like the early. You can tell when it's like the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum era because of the level on there. I did not collect. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum is the latest I really collected them, and then some random ass one-off buying in the Sword and Shield era. Spyro Drain sounds like a kitchen appliance. There's a Bidoof in here that has... Oh god, I was talking with Zora. Zora, what was the funny move the Bidoof had? Hold on, I need to find out, where is this funny Bidoof? It's like self-abandonment is a move... Oh, how did I not include this? Why did I not include... Okay, I'm currently holding a base set 2 Gyarados. Holo. Hold on, where is the funny Bidoof? And I did not include that in the pictures here. Another Gyarados, some Regices, Castform, fun Tyrannitars, just got it. Oh, I also. Oh, good for you on that one. Gyarados. Team Magmazov, Delta Species, Clay. Where is the funny Bidoof? Where is the funny Bidoof with self-abandonment? I think anyway. Oh, hey, many Deoxys forms. God, I love Deoxys. Did I mention Deoxys is probably one of my favorite boats? Your fan is louder? Then kick your fan out the window. That sounds like a you problem. Is old, like, base set Haunter. That one I don't think is actually worth anything. Some special Butterfree. Where is the funny Bidoof? Where are my self-abandoned? Okay, there's my sets of metal Magikarps that only know Splash. Lovely. Here it is. Okay. Yep. There is a move on a Bidoof card, the clay print Bidoof. What's up? Hi. The move is called Self-Abandonment. I don't know what Bidoof is up to, but Bidoof has a move called Self-Abandonment. What does the move do? Self-Abandonment, 1 white energy. Flip coin. If heads, this attack does 30 damage to the defending Pokemon. If tails, Bidoof does 10 damage to itself. It's a self-abandonment. That's the thing we can also go through. Like a tail wrap. Oh, hey, more fancy energies. Oh, a lot more fancy energies. Oh, yeah, a lot more fancy energies that I did not include here. Hold on, what is... Hold on, I think hold on, we're trying to find... Oh, Ludicolo. There's a Ludicolo card! The Pokepower, Cheerful Voice. Move 1, Mad Dance. Move 2, Best Dance. Someone can get Bidoof a therapist. It's probably just confused and hitting itself. Oh, that's a fun one. That's a Deoxys with totally legit moves. Inviting Bell, the Chingling move. That's concerning. Gardevoir, Energy Bell. Have I ever danced with my life on the line? Can't say I have. I would like to, though. That sounds fun. Yeah, actually, have I ever... I know I translated the Ancient Mew at some point. We could... God, I should do a proper hand cam stream with this. I also need to redo the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I need to scan through my Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well to figure out how much just random... I need to figure out, in case everything goes south, if I can sell the entirety of my trading card collections, and how long I could survive on that. But I do remember trading for the Ancient Mew just in daycare all those years ago. Alright, and what is next? Oh, right, yeah, this one. So this is where we start getting into the more interesting ones, I feel. First things first, you'll notice quite a few Delta species, which are just types that are not their natural types, like the electric Electric Charmander, the Fighting type Executor, the Electric Rayquaza EX, Pinsir Fighting type, which is that one. Just need to fade up the shading. I excite. I mean, not entirely incorrect. Glacier. For some, again, if evolutions were existent, they were valuable. That Lapras is unfortunately not in the best condition, unfortunately. But it is an old, that is an old fossil set there. The different types hurt your brain. No, the Psychic Typhlosion with Burning Ball. Hold on, does that? Yeah, Burning Ball. If Typhlosion has at least 2 fire energy attached to it, the defending Pokemon is now burned. I mean, Pinsir as a fighting type makes sense. Rayquaza as electric. Special Circuit Sky High Claws. Delta Circle Split Bomb. And then Charmander with Bite and Scratch. Lovely. Do I have the pot of greed? I have many pots of much greed. And then also these two. Good old level X. Gardevoir and Torterra. So on this stream, I mean, I can show it briefly as an intermission once we hit a certain point of this. Got too greedy? Indeed. I also have Jar of Greed. It is not bug fighting. It really feels like it should be. And then Heracross is just like, yo. Also, I'm just gonna say, this particular image is going to be important for when we come back come back and do some quizzes later. I'm just gonna say that much. Moving on. What is on this one? Nothing overwhelmingly special. More Delta species. We have the, oh, hold on. Isn't that the special Steelgrass? Oh, yeah. Lieutenant Surge's Voltorb and an old Pikachu. How is that? Can I see the ears in that one? That's feeding a colored fixer. Arceus with the Legends Arceus multiplate. That would be my guess. Ugh. Because just, you know, resist attacks, gain benefit to all of its attacks. Go hard. Hold on, how old is this Voltorb of Lieutenant Surge's? Oh god, we still have a lot of that. Ooh, that special primate. Are there some of these I didn't take a picture of? Okay, we're into here. A good old 98 gym leaders set. Grown having the move major. There is a minor earthquake. Yes. Have you heard of magnitudes? High tide and I love it's called major earth. Like, Kyogre and Groudon counterparts. You have drought and major earth. They actually just have the weather moves in these prints. These are okay. Yeah, these are absolutely counterparts to each other's prints. But it's major earthquake versus high tide, and I'm just gonna say, one of those sounds way more intimidating than the other, and I'm just gonna say it ain't high tide. Also, Thunder Jolt. You gotta love how look up. Sorry, the Azov with the move look up. My question: what type of looking up is that? Is that like Googling, or is that you tilt your head upwards, or what are we looking at? What are we looking upwards at here, okay? That is my question. That is my question here. What are we looking up at? Because I would like to know. Drizzle is the best attack ever. It's just the rain move. In look up to you on the ceiling. You're on my lap. You're on my lap there. I don't think you have as much element of surprise as you knew. Pikachu having Gnaw is cursed. It's also the Clay Pikachu. Yeah, if a card was Clay print, it was, yeah, that was tending to be more value. Yep. Also, did I include every Charizard in here? Yes, I included I have 3 Charizards in here that I, included. But yeah, also, what did you... Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, that's a Metal Grass. That is a Metal Grass Crobat. And I will say it is metal. We need to kill the whale. Wailord is not in the showcase. Radar Jam. Hold on, Radar Jam. And target attack. Look up Poltergeist. That is just... Hold on a moment. The move Poltergeist wasn't introduced in the... When were you introduced? Hold on. Poltergeist as an attack was not introduced until friggin' Gen 8. That Rotom is not Gen 8. Poltergeist. Okay, well, you know what? I just realized that was many years. Hold on, I'm looking at this Rotom. Rotom! Show me your Poltergeist. I need to see the Poltergeist. Hold on. Rotom predicted the future? I mean, look, at some point, they're gonna need to... Okay, where the piss is this Rotom? Where the piss is this Rotom? Oh, hey, spoiler alert for the future. There's a couple of Mewtwo's in here. Oh, yeah, more EXs, more Delta species. Where is... Hold on. 2009! Yeah, 2009 is a fair bit behind, the introduction of, you know, Sword and Shield. Rotom. Funny enough, the first card I scanned was a Rotom Heat, and I was like, oh, let's just scan these for fun. Immediate first card is a $27 Rotom Heat, and I'm just like... Maybe we keep scanning these. This is not the one that it is, obviously. But that is interesting. Yeah, Poltergeist introduced there. Also, Pikachu, Surge's Voltorb. Ah, good old. Again, never actually played this game on any official grounds. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, lovely. More Delta species, a lot more, hold on, EXs. Yeah. Also, I love these Ditto set cards where it is just... Yes. I am Pikachu. Also, ignore the inconsistency of the pictures taken here. These were done. Ditto is beautiful. Ditto is an amazing Pokemon. Ditto, very up there in my love Pokemon. Shedinja is I cite as my favorite non-legendary Pokemon. Deoxys is favorite legendary/mythical Pokemon. Also, if you would like to send me Zozos, and yeah, we can use this as an intermission once I'm done going over this little slide. I forget exactly what that Steelix was, or if it was anything special. I think it is just valuable for some reason. Hold on, I'm going to make my face freeze for a minute, so that I can go into here. Here. Hold on. For us, I'm gonna have to, well, the obvious one. I wonder. Steelix. Yeah, that Steelix is, like a $28 card. I forget exactly... Send it to do my shock. Did you put a shock collar on me? I'm sorry, why are we shocking? My face has returned! Meh. Also, lovely God, I used to have a Dragonite EX when I was younger that I lost at some point. Also, Dark Primate. Funny enough, I wish I had her cards. My stepmom has a binder full of, like, much older cards, up to and including, like, base Japanese set cards. And I'm just like, why the hell do you have these? Also, Fire-type Milotic. I would like to have the brain continue to be broken. That is a Milotic with the move Flare. I love Delta species. Latios, water type. Oh, that Milotic. To be fair, Milotic with the red on there, I could buy the fire type. Also, I do have the Graveler from this old fossil set. I just forgot to put it in there because rush. Also, is that water steel? Yeah, that is, I believe, a water metal Starmie. Also, I'm calling it metal type because in the game it's metal energy. But I'm afraid to put on limit. Oh, I do need to do the daily login for the special thingy today. Thank you for a reminder. I'll do that once the stream is over. Huh. That's endly close, endly open. What is it? Oh, right. This this is one where we get a couple of other special ones that you may notice immediately. Notably, these two down in the bottom right here. Oh, that was interesting spine crack I just did. This is going to take forever. Zora, there are a total of 10 slides, and we are on slide 7. Welcome to Japan. I forget how I got these, if I'm being completely honest. But the old Sabrina, I believe is that Sabrina? I want to say that's Sabrina. And Miltank. Also a good old couple of Brock's Pokemon from that one. Zora, you're the one who said you wanted to wait until end. I offered to use it as an intermission. Also, more Dialga. Another Dialga that does not have Roar of Time. Also, Deoxys, my beloved. Still says trainer, and look, some stuff is just there. Last slide. Well, last slide, I think, will be one of the more interesting ones, because it is a better view of most of the stuff that was used in the thumbnail. Because all the stuff in the thumbnail is cards I have and just took a picture of. Because fun. Also, yeah, these Mewtwo's were some of the first things I took pictures of. I have an alternate foil of the Mewtwo in the middle there. Also, Water-type Blossom, Break Brain, Break Brain, Break Brain, Aqua Flower move. But that Mewtwo in the middle, I have a different holo version of it that didn't have an equivalent on, like, TCG Player for checking value, so that thing probably has an off value in my calculations. Like I said, user error is subject to the valuation, but Potion Lap... Oh, sorry, hold on. We have the... 1 second. There, now we have you pouting appropriately. There's the pouting face. There were also some scans that were harder to do. Like, any of these that had, like, the... You know how it says the whatchamacallit phantoms on that Blossom? That one took... I don't even think I got the right scan for that one, so that one might be different, but those were... Anything with the text on the card was tricky to get sometimes. Yeah, also, I have... There's a card I think might be fake, or it's a typo on it, where there is a Deoxys Defense Form card that I have that says Attack Form. And I have 2 of them, and I don't know if that is a fake card or just something where they had like a run of typos. And I'm curious to see how that one plays out. I don't have that one in here, by the way, if you are curious. Alright, we're undoing the pouty and back to Smug. Oh, it's on the PC. Then send it, and I will look at it at the end, and then you can watch it in Betty. But yeah, I do remember... there was a stint where I got sold fake packs with fake cards in them, and I remember a couple of the cards that stand out from there, but I don't know all of the fake cards I have been sold over the time. Yes, I promise, me no looky until end and that. Jesus! Because of a stakes rarity? I believe so, but also at the same time, I have the uncensored Harpy Lady, and those boobs ain't worth nothing. So, I don't know. And by uncensored, I mean the mistakenly uncensored English one that happened however many years ago. But yeah, I don't know. If that is a misprint, then maybe that's more valuable, but also I have 2 cards of it that have it, which makes me think it was a consistent mess up on the people who were faking it. Rather than, so that one's a big, I got no idea if that's legit. Making you roar, apparently. Rarity. Rarity. R-A-R, rarity. Oh, we have 2 more left, alright. Also, fun little ride-on there. Of the olden days. I mentioned the Brox ones, the other Dialga, yeah, I went through all those. Bruh. And now Dinkus and Dunkus. Oh, here's the one where it kind of hurts a little bit. 2 things. Actually, there's a lot of things on here. There's a random ass, the Lairon is the one that makes no sense here, and you're going to bed. If you send it to me, I will look at that one. But you will notice, A, ditto. B, you can see the damage on this card, which is painful because otherwise very valuable card. Again, I think I got this card like this, and as a kid I didn't care, but now looking at it, beautiful ditto indeed. Beautiful Regigigas with Crush Grip. But like this Charizard is normally like it's a holographic Charizard card. If Charizard is on the card, it's a valuable card, is kind of a lesson I learned. Wait, hold on, do I have a we'll see that later. There's one other that. And a more level X cards, and also this is a fun one on TCG Player, this Deoxys EX, that Ditto has seen something, every Ditto has seen something, that's how they transform. This Deoxys EX is confusing because it doesn't add its value to the total of all this, because it's like recently sold at $75 but market value at $150, but also no listed market value, so it's just kind of confusing. Ugh. And also electric Feraligatr. There was an electric Croconaw earlier on, electric Feraligatr with Drag Off and Sharp Fang, and also purple type Almastar, because purple can either, I believe it's going to be poison. Here. Deoxys used Confuse Ray. Deoxys using Cyber. What does that Cyburst do? Hold on. What does this Cyburst do, Deoxys? I'm checking you, because I can't read this one. Cyburst, where are you? 50 damage. You may discard 2 energy attached to Deoxys. If you do, does 50 plus 20 more damage for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. Oh. But yeah, that Deoxys has a... It does not properly display a value. Hard Crush. They ran out of name ideas, but also... For it, I'm going to tell you, there's a card I have right in front of me that is a card from 1998 that has the move Nail Flick on it. I don't think that was a case of them ever running out of ideas. I think this was more a case of sporadic creativity. Throw up, yes indeed. Also, for it, I'm going to tell you, Pikachu has had Gnaw since the very beginning. I'm going to tell you that one, just based on what I'm looking at right here. Like, Regigigas has the Crush Grip on there. Yeah, Hard Crush, I do remember on that one, Magmortar. Flame Bluster. What the hell does that Flame Bluster even do? This picture does not allow me to read this one here. Yeah. Where are you? Discard 2 fire energy, attach your choose one of your opponent's Pokemon does 100 damage to that Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resist for bench. During your next turn, Magmortar can't use Flame Burst. That is its only attack. Man, that is... What's return to Mortar? You choose one defending Pokemon. That Pokemon is now burned. Put 3 damage counters instead of 2 on that Pokemon. Okay, so this thing just does extra burn. Fire Spin. Oh yeah, an Entei with Fire Spin and Stomp. Also, Fire Spin being a 50 base power. And then the random Lairon there. I feel like that Lairon is out of place in this, but god, this Charizard being, like, you can see the denting stuff there is a very painful. Welcome back, Lispooder. And again, stare at the electric Feraligatr. Ah, tiny! Big. And now... these are the thumbnails, and then an extra. You will notice... unfortunately, it is not the hollow one, but looking at it, it is in very good condition. It's Pikachu. It is indeed Pikachu, Fat Pikachu, and also, for it, this is why I said Pikachu has had Gnaw from the very beginning. Yeah, Fat Pikachu, and another Charizard. Hollow Charizard. If it was Charizard, it's like money. Also, that is base set 2 Venusaur. Movie promo Entei. Tournament. Which tournament was that one? That was World Champion 2007 Jolteon. Jolteon EX. Electric Tyranitar. Electric Tyranitar EX. With Electromark, Hyperclaws, and Shockwave. Weakness. I love how it's electric type, but its weakness is still grass. Have a move called Combustion? Yes. Combustion and Bursting Inferno, and then the other one has Nail Flick and Continuous Fireball. Continuous Fireball is what that really tiny print one is. Continuous Fireball. Yeah, that is... Unfortunately, it is not a holo print of it. But even still, I saw Dark... My kind of thing was I would see Charizard and I'd be like, oh! Huh? Money. Also, this Mew on screen did not strike me as anything special. That looks like a Pikachu that a little kid drew. That is the original Pikachu, Zora. Do not insult. Do not insult the original Pikachu. The responsible person thinks of when they hear Dark Charizard. Oh yeah, Nail Flick. Zora, do not insult. Do not insult the art of... Where are you? Mitsushiro Arita. Do not insult the art of Mitsushiro Arita for drawing the original Pikachu. Why are there just... Hold on. Why do they move where they credit the artist? Hold on. Why do they move... Why is this all over the place where they are giving credit to the artists? Either way, point I was trying to make here, original Pikachu was fat and beautiful indeed. This Mew was the first card that made me think, oh my. You forgot to do something? Run! But, I'm just gonna, we'll open this up to guess. This Mew, that is just a random level 40 Mew. Do value guessing. Do some value guessing, everyone. I will tell you, it surprised me when I saw it. Is the hint that you get. Ugh. Oh. 454. Interesting. B wants to make an announcement. The Pikachu, if his drawing was... that was supposed to be 45. Oh, okay. And I'm presuming... hold on. What currency are you using? I forget that you're German. And by I forget that you're German, I mean I need to say that I forget so that I can transition into saying you're German. What currency are you using? Pounds? Okay, so convert that a little bit up. Do we have any other guesses? That Mew is the one we're looking at right now. Pound, euro? Right, I honestly forget that there's multiple things over there and kind of just lump them all together. But yeah, which Pikachu is that? I think, is that... Yeah, that is base set Pikachu. Not Shadowless or anything, but it is there. Brah.
Only England uses pounds?
Why did you mouth slap before speaking that, Ferret? How dare you slap your mouth with the voice that you 100% control? Gotcha. Gotcha, so euro. What does that translate to about dollars? Anyone else have any guesses other than Furfur? Any other guesses than Furfur? I'll give you some hints of... Both of these Charizards are north of 100 US dollars. I think north of 100 euro as well. Depending. I don't know. That's rough. That's rough guessing on not knowing, but it's a Charizard. What do you expect? 1 euro is $1.18. 120 euro. I believe B is actually really, really close. Assuming... Did you just look it up? I'm gonna double check this, but did you just look that up? No? Okay, because, hold on, we're just gonna... Mew? 145 US dollars. Which is actually very rough. 18. That is very close. That is very close. Only instant noodle. Think of all the instant noodles you could buy. Hello, Hunter. How are you doing? Ah. Welcome to now. Alright. Zora's not here for me to do this one.
Manager, why aren't they frozen?
Why aren't they frozen? Because I checked TCG Player on my phone, which is also what I am using to capture my face. So anytime I go into anything to look at the prices or anything that I have, I need to, my face need freeze. Alright, so, there is another thing I will posit here as a question. Of the cards that were shown in here, look, it's Fat Pikachu. Of the cards that were shown here, which one was the highest value, and how much was said highest value? Actually, what do we think the highest value of a single card here was? Let's start off with that, and then we can kind of go into which one was it. But yeah, this... no comment, yes, because Hunter, you just happened to message me while I was dealing with this, so I believe you have an insight into that. 450 pounds, I will tell you, that is an overshot. That is a bit of an overshot. How much is Fat Pikachu? I think that Pikachu particularly is not as valuable as you think. A base set, hold on. 200 pound, now you're undershooting. Yeah, that Pikachu is only like $5. 250 pounds, trying to do some conversions. You're getting closer, you're getting closer. Now, do we have any guesses as to what card we've seen so far was that card that had that value? Also, that Ditto Pikachu is a $57 card. Love that. 275, trying to do conversion. Close, close. Close. Don't mind my frozen face. D2. Hello, Kuta. What the... Confusion. Japanese trainer? No, it was not that one. 'Twas not that one. I am back. I will tell you, I remember... Hold on, did I told you to pay attention to a specific one, didn't I? I told you to pay attention to this one. Also, Electric Charmander, by the way. Throw that out there. I told you to pay attention to this slide for a reason, and I will tell you it is very relevant to the current question at hand. Your brain is practically fried? Well... anyone was hungry, we got some deep-fried Kuta brain. You're back, you're back. Welcome, we are now in the Guess the Most Valuable one. Which is, I'll give you the hint, it's on here. Hi, everyone. Flareon? No, it is not. It is not that. Hi. Rayquaza? Correct, it is the Delta species Electric Rayquaza. That is $330 US. That is the most valuable card I found in this collection. Have fun times, you enjoy your planning. That Rayquaza is a...
When's my turn?
Your turn? Well, your turn was gonna happen when you was away, but you was away and we started that one. Very well, Hunter. But yeah, that Rayquaza is 330 on its own. What's your turn? Well, Zora, now your turn is here. Also, what's the what the hell about? I feel like your eyebrow should be more angy. But, now I go here and... oh! She... well, I told you I would save you looking at it for, right now. Hold, that is... oh my. For those wondering what I am looking at, Zora drew a thing. And now... hold on, do I have it? We'll just get... hold on, I think this is far the most valuable single slide. Hold on, we just gotta do some real quick. How do I do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, this, do this, that, this, no, that, this. Also, must say, love the name of that file, Zora. Are you Okay, it worked. There we go, it worked. Ugh. When's game night? What is game night?
Greetings the bee, Ferret the employee, Zorzit VA, Hunter Runt.
I mean... What is implied by game night here? Also, we're just... I'm just gonna point out, so Zora has drawn a thing of us, and all I'm going to say is, it is simply it is entitled Lovey. It is entitled Lovies. If you bought a multi-pack. Yes, unfortunately it's not very visible here. It is still in very good condition, but there is a bit of damage on it. On that, whatchamacallit. On the Requaqua. Yeah, there is a little bit of damage. Can I zoom in to view that? Well, not if I zoom in on the wrong thing. Also, Zora, don't worry, it is getting prepped, but can you... You can see in the top right, there's a little bit of damage on it, and on the back, it's not in perfect condition. But still very good condition. Considering I've had that since le childhood. You named it the truth. You did, and there is one thing that is technically not canonically incorrect to do, but I do one little thing to point out when I bring this in. Hold on, we're just going to boop, 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 boop. And we are doing an intermission. We are doing an intermission because Zora made art and wanted this art to be shown. Hold on, we're just gonna make sure this go bloop, bloop. Okay, that is there. That goes right here, and I'm gonna make it small, and then we're gonna make it big. All right, exit studio mode. Should the bee be scared? I don't know. Does this scare you? We're just gonna slowly grow it. I'm just gonna slowly grow it. Also, Zora, I need to critique this. There's nowhere near enough blush on your face for what is currently happening. I expect to see more red. And also, I do say, technically not incorrect because it is doable. You didn't do the crystallized hand. And I've just never seen myself drawn with normal hands. That caught me off guard for a second. I have never... you don't think so? You don't think so? Good, good. You don't think. Don't think. But very lovely, very beautiful, very thank you. Again, the biggest thing, there should be more red blushing going on in here. That is the only inaccuracy, I must say. But as per usual, this will go lovably alongside the collection of other beautifuls you do. Huh. And now we, this tucks back. Before with normal hand, did you? Oh yeah, you did. I just looked in the folder. Actually, have you ever? I don't think you've ever done the crystal hands. Oh no, wait, have you? No, wait, you have. Technically? Actually, no, I don't think you've ever explicitly done the crystal hands. Interesting. That is a thing I have now noticed. I am glad I saved. I am very glad I held looking at it until you were here because, yeah, no, that was very much, that was, you know what? Not what I'm expecting. Oh god, what the twisty upside downies? Could I add it to the stream? Depends on the thing. Because, yeah, this has been shown. Thank you, Zora, like I said. And also, yeah, Ludot. No. Ludot is an effective name. Is before get crystallized. Well, then I wouldn't be so pale. Look, there's kind of a timeline thing where if before the crystal hands, then I wouldn't be so pale. Look, the lore is confusing, and I don't have it set anywhere, but it is as is. It is as it. You know what? This can be really tiny off to the side. This can be really tiny. It's going in the For Stupid Ideas folder, because that's where it belongs. You're just sick. You know what? I'll take that as an excuse. That is a very valid reasoning, but yes, thank you as always for the lovely art that I'm staring, taking that in, and hold on, we're just doing the other contractually obligated thing that I said that I would add to the stream real quick. This gets to be really tiny and on the desk though. There we go. That gets to just be right next to Zora for that one. That was my request. Okay, and now, based on these 100 cards that I have shown right now, and bearing in mind in total, I did show most of the more valuable ones. In total, there was basically 500 cards that were taken into the scan. And bearing in mind, actually we'll do that later. Why is that just entitled artwork? What do we think the total valuation of Loon's Pokemon card collection is? Assuming, bearing in mind, we're not going to go into the complexities of condition or any of that. Because then we get, obviously, I do not have these at full value, simply because they are not all in mint condition or anything like that. So, yeah, that's an unfortunate, but we are going off of that base assumption. If all these were mint condition, or like near mint, what would they, dance time, fire, what would they be? Because I still think, I don't know exactly how the condition degrades on all this. Are you, the stream is bugged? The stream is bugged a lot, people. It's man, I feel like that sums up YouTube streaming in general as a whole in one sentence. Man, stream is bugged. Ugh. Yeah, no red 2000 is far off. Ferret's guess is 2000. I'll say you get three guesses. And we're doing Price is Right rules where if you get over. Fixed? Yay. But yes, Ferret's one guess is 2,000 euros. God, foreign currency. Oh, my brain. 1,500. Incorrect. Incorrect. I will, bearing in mind, each of those Charizards that I have shown you is over 100 each. This Rayquaza alone is 330, and there are just barely over 500 cards that are $2 or more. 500. Kuta? I'm pretty sure Rayquaza plus my Mewtwo. This one screen here is over 500. Can you have a hint? No one has guessed even what I would consider to be close. 4,500, interesting. Oh, that's for its second guess. Do we have more? And I will say not correct. You don't know card values. I just said the Rayquaza currently in the center of the screen alone was 330, and I have 3 Charizards worth over 100 a pop. 4,000, also incorrect, and that's 2 guesses for each of you. But I did just say that Rayquaza alone is 330. Ah, that's a fun. Oh. Any more? Blah. 10,000? Bold, but on your final guess, can you retake your answers? No. On your final guess for it, you did go over. You did indeed go over. Unfortunately. One more guess for the B, I must say. 7,500, also a bit over. Also quite a bit over. The total listed is around about, as I presume... Yeah, Kuta has only guessed the 500. In total, all the cards that I scanned and bothered to actually sleeve total to around 6,180 for US dollar. So 6,180 US dollars. And bearing in mind, there is one special case here where for some reason that does not include the Deoxys in the top left, which I believe is somewhere between 75 and 150. So I believe that can jump it up to, like, on the top end, that can jump it up to, like, 6,350 or something like that. I don't know, so somewhere in the 6,300s. Bearing in mind, what are the people, how are we doing? Oh, you know, we're just looking at the stuff that I didn't realize I had that was valuable in my drawer to feed you for years. No, this is my emergency fund. This is my emergency fund of... Oh, daddy! That's my emergency oh, daddy fund. This is my emergency fund of, in case everything goes bad, I can start selling these cards to survive. I can just, hold on, I can be like, hey, look, I don't have rent money this month, but do you accept Charizards? Do you accept Charizards? Do you? Do you accept Charizards? 13 of those were gifted. Hey, the fact that you actually paid for any of them yourself, I'm surprised by. How much was that Tyranitar worth? Hold on. Because Delta Species Electric Rayquaza was 330. How much was the Delta Species Electric... Tyranitar. Oh. Yeah, that Tyranitar is 150 something bucks as well. Lovely. Enough on hate for scooty drivers. I'm presuming that means scooter or some sort of other thing. Yeah, for reference, that Tyranitar is 150. Hold on. Mesprit. The Mesprit is like 50 something. That Mew, like I said there. Hold on. Charizard. Yeah. That Charizard currently on screen bottom left is just under 200. You could never get into Pokemon TCG. Here's the funny thing, Flyball. I didn't get into it either. I just collected the cards as a child.
Greetings, Dragon Slayer Nightcore, Flyball Ninja.
Ninja? Ninja? Why did... Ninja? Sorry, Ninja?
Use the German pronunciation.
Use the for it. You are infectious. Also, oh my, wait. Oh, hold on. That's the wrong Jolteon that I have listed here. Hold on. Hold on. Search out here. Jolteon EX. Hold on. Do we have the... Where is the tournament version? Not that one. That one may be significantly less valuable, actually. Hold on. Not tournament. That's a lot of not tournament legals. Hold on. Which one is that one? Okay, the value is still around 6,000, but I believe... Hold on. I need to figure out what Jolteon that is currently on screen. Man, do I wish I took better pictures. Hold on, which Jolteon? My phone almost fell out of my Spyro. Who was this Alamir? Wait, what? Yeah, sorry, I was busy screaming. What was that in reference to? This looks to be like someone named Tim. I think. Hold on. Jolteon EX. I need to find the Tim Jolteon. 100's kind of... Oh, some of mine are fake, but I think I filtered out the fake ones in here. Hold on. Jolteon EX... Hold on, the tournament version... Jimmy... Tom... Oh, the Jolteon is nowhere near as valuable as I thought it was. Unfortunate. Still a fun. But, unfortunately, lesser valuable. That Jolteon is not as much as I had... Yeah, I'm gonna be very stiff-faced here as I'm looking through some of the stuff. Yeah, still around 6,100 because that Deoxys is a weird thing. Yeah, let's just... Yeah, that Mew... That Mew is like a... Yeah, that Mew is 140 something. Do stiff-faced. Oh, very, very stiff. I am incredible stiffness. Hold on, where is... Yeah, that Pikachu is unfortunately... a funny. That Charizard... Hold on, where is Oma... Oh, no, we go here. We scroll this down. Omin... how do you spell... Omanite. Where's the Delta Species? What the... Star. The Delta species one is like a $10 one. How much is that for Relegator? But yes, enjoy stiff-faced loon content. Relegator. The Delta species one is also a $50-something card. Love that. Regigigas. None of the Regigigases were particularly valuable. I just liked it. Ditto. The 2 Ditto cards in total. Yeah, that is a very fun. I also could not get the Japanese version of that Miltank to scan, so I only got the English version of it. I don't know if there's a significant difference in value for some of those. Bellossom. Not that Bellossom ain't too much anything special. Bush. No bush. Explode. Yeah. At this point, this is me just flexing stuff. Also, yeah, that Latios. Like 90. How much is that Golem? Golem is like 10 from that one. There's the Ditto Pikachu. That Steelix is like 30 something. Armaldo fun there. Sorry, when you went out for a second. Oh, don't worry. We're still here and I'm still stiff-faced because I'm looking at stuff on the phone. I love that not being able to. Dark Primer. The Dark Chart. God, I wish that was. Oh, the Dark Primate. Oh, I have a randomized Dark. You're now gonna go. Enjoy the buzz to sleep, little bee. Enjoy your rests. Rotom. Yeah, the first card I scanned was a Heat Rotom that's not here. Boah, indeed. Ah, lovely. I wish I could sort these by value on there and then double check some of that, because I think there are some mistakes in here that would bring the value a bit down or up. Down and or up, depending on which. Depending. See you fare thee well, B. Can my face return? Whoa. Now thinking bad things again. Zora, do not think bad. You have. What the hell? You have winking. You have a winking magical girl. Think happiness. Think Smill. I forget. Me just clicking random things to try and cheer people up. Dance. Ah. Well, I guess we could burn everything. Actually, don't get the fire away from the. I prefer. I have too many things just kind of here. What? Oh, that's Mazorix there. That here. Oh! Oh, that was a lovely shoulder pop. Satisfaction. Hold on, my back needs to. Ow, pain! My back needs to unpain. Also, what the piss? Did I do? Hold on. And I love streamer mode. Sorry, Dorgan, I did not see your Scooty sending. 1 second. Yes. Oh. Don't mind me, I'm just correcting my spine. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Oh, and I've got so much weakness to let out. Okay, that one was deliberately exaggerated a little bit, but also it was funny. Yeah, I did not have much. God, I could have done so much more if I had actually taken the time to do the hand cam setup for this. However, again, that is more time to set up than I had the time for, because I would like. That involves tape and getting stuff to the other computer and then being annoyed for a while. Hearing the noises. Look, I'm not gonna lie, that I may have deliberately made those noises because I knew they would make a certain someone happy. Usually that's the main event, not the opening. You showed up like an hour and something into stream. You're not exactly at the opening. Also, I made a misread there. I don't know how a P got there. Like, my brain put a P at the beginning of Mazoric's name. It didn't send your first message. Discord DM. Discord DM. More sensitive part once. That would have.
Greetings, Lord Masori.
Oh, you're really into Mazoric. Ugh. But yes, Zora, you're welcome. What is it? No. You did say that. I did see the one about the...
Lord Masoric first of his name? What does the P stand for, manager?
No, it was Lord Pissoric or something like that. But also...
I like your living noises.
Thank you. I can tell you... Hold on. I can tell you enjoy a certain side of me. Hold on. Let me just get this back on stream. I can tell you enjoy a certain side of me real quick. Hold on. Let me just put this here as a reminder. Lovely artwork as always, but then remove it for the fate. Oh, titles is Puree. Puree? Oh, I do remember that one. Puree Mizore. Oh, great. Hello, Mizore. Welcome to Zora! Exclamation! Speak the hee-hees. I want to hear you attempt to speak it. Puree. No. You are puree. Puree, not puree. Yep, that's about what I expected to get out of that one. Worth it. Go, what the hell? Look, we did an you're in. Did I forget to turn your code on? Hold on. Every so often the end. Oh, I forgot. Every so often when I'm attempting to set up the code, Mazoric, you're turned on now. Whenever I'm pressing, it's Control V, Enter. Sometimes if I do that too quickly, no, it works. I just turned it on for you. It was turned off until now, but for some reason, whenever I'm rapidly entering the codes, every so often, it doesn't take the enter. That would have been funnier without that. Are you sure? It's quite funny that you said no, it won't. It missed a huh. It cut out a huh. It only did huh. And there's huh. There are 5. Kuda, I'm curious, if you do H-A-A-A repeatedly, put a few more A's in there, I wonder what you'll sound like. I'm curious. I am a little curious. Why did it come out as We have just descended into laughter, which I'm not entirely opposed to. Ugh. So you can't shoot anyone you needed to go through. Well, clearly I'm the one in need of money. Ignore the $6,000 of Pokemon cards I'm talking about on this stream. I clearly need that money more than you, Mazor. Clearly. Again, just ignore the fact that I just found this, just realized I had this, and that's not even including a bunch of the stuff. I could probably add a couple extra 100 into here. I don't know, it's probably close to 6,200 if I include everything, but yeah.
Money addict.
How dare you remember that, Kuta? How dare you have memory? This is a authoritarian dictator state in which I say you remember what I allow you to remember. Or did I save it for the stream? Potentially, we shall see.
I think now I need sleep. I am going to head to bed, and you give me the message.
Why do you need? You don't need to be so pushy about it. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. You know that's gonna happen. Have a night. Indeed, having a night.
Wow.
What? Hold on. I found the resonant frequency of my bottle. You know what? Fair enough. Proof, but you did say call that what a situation, right? I know, but I wish to rewrite history. And again, the friggin'... Let me just point out, this screen of Pokemon cards is... Yeah, that,
Good night, everyone.
Fair night, little Zozo. Enjoy the goods of the sleepies and cuddle into your plushies and enjoy the... become cuddle into your assortment of assortments. Also, can I just say, while I was scanning all these Pokemon cards with the TCG Player app, God, my neck felt weak. My neck did not like it because I spent hours looking down and scanning. I only got 500 of them that I bothered keeping in the scan. There were plenty more that I just... Flyball, unfortunately, that is a members-only feature, or... It can... Cough, cough. Yuki, look, the plan is in. $1,000 worth of has-been cards. That's very fair. We all have our backup stuff, and I haven't even gone through the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yuki, the debt shall be paid. Venvi's actually paying his debt to you come... When is he paying that one? The one card that is 1,000? Hot damn. That is a good one. But yeah, Yuki, come Friday, Venvi... Wait, what time is that? Yeah, that is the time you could be there. Venvi is paying his debt to you. But also, I still need to do that one, which will be set up at some point. Ugh. The only thing, this is gonna be real awkward when it's just like, I show up there and I'm gonna be like, I got no idea what to do with horse girls and thing. I got no idea. Look, I just showed up here because I have a debt to pay. But yeah, I also, yeah, like I said, I do need to at some point scan through.
You just have to play amazingly.
I don't know what that entails. Like, I will learn as we go. This isn't laughter. I just choked on some spit. 4,000? Hell yes. Horse girls, look, I have to pay Yuki back by playing Uma. Oma Mosame at some point. Ugh. Which I plan to do within the next week. Ugh. So, yeah, that'll be a thing. Hold on, let's just go to... No, what the hell? Oh, different chat up there. Other assorted stuff. Hold on. Nope, there we go. Ah, God, I killed her. No. And that one, go away. Well, which one of these is singularly most valuable? Probably this one if everything were probably not. Nah, I think it is still this one. Because there are 2 Charizards on it. But also, damn the value. Yeah, we all have the... Before Code Veronica, no, it's free on mobile and very popular, but still free. Code Veronica, again, would require me to dig up the console, make sure it still works, finagle capture card stuff, which I have bearing in mind. Okay, also, Oma Musume was less of a request, and that was a obligation. Code Veronica has been a request, and seriously, the hassle to reset it up and do, you know, actually capture card based streaming again, which I have not. I don't have the software for Elgato installed on this computer. I would need to redo that, refigure all that out. Elgato has some weird audio bugs that I would need to work out the kinks to. That's a whole thing. That is a whole thing. That I would absolutely need to do some finagling on, you know? Oh. And then obviously the other game about redheads that I have not played, I have played it, and then kinda was just like, well, this game allows you to waste your saves by a fat finger that is incredibly easy to do. I still think that's the biggest flaw of that game. Play RE9. The agreement was that I give Mazorik time to beat it, so that he can enjoy it, and have it, you know, have it done before I play it. So, Mazorik, how is the RE9 going? I also still need to play Doom of the Dark Ages at some point. Jesus Christ, I forgot about that one completely. Yeah, Therapy was good. Oh, no, like, roguelikes. I could enjoy them. I don't, like, they're basically gonna be, it's super good? That is good. Compare it to some other Resident Evil game. Compare it to 7 and 8. must play. It will be done. I will play it come... Oh, I can't do it Monday, because Monday is always Limbus. Mazorek, what is your play time? When is your play shooting? How is your completion looking to be? Or when is your completion looking to be? Yes, within 15 hour, Compared what to 7-8? 9. Resident Evil. Like, quality-wise. I mean, I could just real quick go here. Reviews, very positive. 93% positive. That is very good. Yes. Yes. You'll compare once done? Gotcha. When will you be finished? Tomorrow or following day? Because it will either start here on Sunday or Tuesday, depending. Also, insert spoiler here. How dare you, Yuki? It'll be done tonight. Oh, fair enough. I don't know if I want to start it tomorrow. You know, I could start it tomorrow. Me flashing back to Resident Evil Village DLC for some reason, turning on ray tracing and destroying my attempt to stream the Shadows of Rose DLC. Don't know why that was a thing. Hold on. While we're here, let me just real quick, add Resident Evil Requiem to cart. We will purchase that in a little bit. Your comment. Well, we can have your initial review. Also, God, I need to remember. Fert! Is my Pokemon moderator still here? You have not abandoned your post yet, have you? Oh god, my chair. Anyway. The Pokemon moderator has not abandoned thine oh wait, the German internet may have been a thing. Initial review. I mean, you could give it an initial review right now even if you're like halfway through, just to hear someone, you know, we have the Resident Evil people here who can give opinion. Also, I realize she is asleep now, which means... What? Oh, this year. Bloosh. Yeah, make it quick, make it summative, don't make it super, you know, exhaustive or anything like that. We gotta keep it very obviously mysterious for me, you know. Lovely neck crack. Also, this is a mildly random thing. Have y'all ever made a noise that, for the 7 out of 10? 7 out of 10, interesting. I find it interesting. You say it's super good, but then you say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, I'm just like, I mean, that's a C grade. I'm just like, that doesn't... 7 out of 10 does not strike me as living up to super good, but I will take your word for it. And now we're just chatting time, I guess. Now we are just chatting time because we went over some of the stuff. God, I do wish I had set up the hand cam stream, but I didn't have the time. It didn't send. Send it to me via Discord, and I will... And I will... And I will. Because I will, and I do, and I am, and I crave, and I desire. And I will consume it. Why am I growling like that? Ugh. What the hell? Interesting. Thank you. Recommended alongside Resident Evil 9 is a random game that is entirely having its title in Japanese that I cannot read. Interesting. I want to remove... I want to remove life him. What's kind of guy at a convention? It's good to listen. I mean, there are different ways you can dislike a villain. Look, you brought up Has-Been earlier. Need I remind everyone my opinion on Adam, and I know I'm not alone because I've had conversations, but Adam is just the embodiment of he was too over the top that he wasn't even fun to hate. I just wanted to skip scenes that involved him. Also sounds like Heath Ledger. Oh, Joker Heath Ledger or just Heath Ledger in general? Yes? Oh, okay. That answers the question. That answers the question, I guess. I think, maybe. I don't really know, but I'm gonna accept it as that one. The Joker? Okay. Okay, Joker is Heath Ledger Joker specifically. Gotcha. I mean, that's bonus points, so he's not as gonna... My brain is gonna say, based off of that, not as infuriating as I found Adam, but also still not the most pleasant thing to be around. Because I genuinely, this is, man, it's weird to say that I mildly enjoyed Has Been Hotel Season 1, but I also did not care to watch Season 2 based on what I've heard of it. And also I cite Adam as the literal embodiment of just bad, just such a poorly written villain. To the point of he's not fun to hate, he is just get him off the screen hate. Because that is just... Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Meh. Also, this is a really weird problem to have. I bought a cheesecake, or like a little bit ago, just because I was feeling it. I realize now its expiration date is a lot closer than I thought, so now I have to eat way more cheesecake. Owns a fedora and is a Reddit moderator. It is... Okay, that type of person. We'll see how we get to that. Ish. We'll see how I feel when I get to smacking. And by smacking, I mean doing whatever the hell else is that. Ugh. I agree. You agree? Gotcha. Gotcha. Villain. Funny, man, the villain being the main... the villain is such a core part to any experience, which is unfortunate. Never has been an issue, in my opinion. The thing is... Normally you're right, but I don't enjoy overindulging on sweet stuff. I'm just like, God, I now feel the need to also exercise a lot more to work the cheesecake off. I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty. My guilt overwhelming me. Make it into a milkshake. I mean, I guess I could. That's just good. I feel like that's just gonna condense all the calories and make them more streamlinable if they're drinkable. I don't remember what it's called. Have you considered getting a better brain? It's a thing I consider a lot of the time, but I feel like it would actually hamper my ability to be entertaining on stream, because my occasional idiocy is what makes me entertaining a lot of the time, I feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're eating a whole cheesecake? Doesn't matter how well, okay, it doesn't feel like I'm eating the whole cheesecake, but I'm conscious of the calorie I'm taking into the body. I'm not a hyper-calorie watcher, but I also don't like going overboard on it, okay? I'm not a hyper on that, but I do not care to go hyper over it when I don't have to. And this is I'm doing out of obligation. I still need to have a second cheesecake slice for the day. Or the actual issue have the 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll understand when you see. Ah. Some recovery can be found in the interesting. I mean, cheesecake every day. On one hand, wouldn't complain, but again, I do not wish to overindulge in the sweetness. What the piss? I just looked up at Twitch and I saw a thingy. Okay. Ah. I don't have any. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, here we are. Still find it funny that this is like I found more fancy energies here. Maybe we're kefir. I'm just re-looking through all these. I still want to know what exactly that Butterfree with that hollow on it is. Or what that shiny on it is, because I do not know. A lot of these are not. Yeah, those are. Boop, boop. Boop. Test? Hey, welcome back, Furfur! But also, Furfur, because I wanted to remind, question, well, I know you're very free, but also, if Reanimal, what day of week if do? You are back? Were you here for when, did you hear me say, where is my Pokemon moderator? Welcome back from the German hellscape. That is German. And German.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I don't know why, that just had the perfect cadence to follow on from my stuff. Don't mind me just playing with a magnet on my old PC. What is the... Oh, no, I froze the screen on there. Oh, there we go. I have nothing on screen right now. Random screen go! Ah, yes, the water... the brain-breaking one. Oh, I'm going to... One second. Lean back, pull my legs up. Any day of this week. Okay, I will message you when I have the idea, and then we do that. And then we prepare to set aside some time for the stuff. Oh my god, this is good. Have a nice night. You also enjoy your night, Mazarek. Ow. Oh, okay, I am sitting... Man, the way my legs are currently intertwining with my arms is not very comfortable. Hold on. There we go. And pull a little bit of the hair. Lovely. Mazork, you enjoy your food? My brain immediately went to, does it involve any of the ribs you bought a ton of that you showed off in the Discord? I also need to eat something after this. This is probably, yeah, this is gonna end up being a short stream. I feel like I'm gonna wrap it up here nicely, but yeah, tomorrow's I'm gonna want to stream as well. I don't know what it'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe I'll just be working on stuff while streaming, but maybe I'll stream. However, yeah, I think we'll just wrap it up here, so. Yeah, this was not a super substantive stream without the hand cam stuff to do, but I could not have time to set up the hand cam. So for now, we are ending this stream here. A short one, but hopefully it was a nice one still. And as per usual, I thank everyone who came, everyone old, everyone new. Hope everyone here enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone here had a good time. I was rapid here, so I thought it was... That is a perfect time for it to do this. And apparently I have accents, yes. Flyball, always good to see you and know you're still around and kicking. Wait. Oh, Yuki? What do you say wait to? What does Yuki say wait? I will wait. Well, thumbnail for Oma. I do not have... I do not have one made yet, but... Still alive, always good to see that. One of, you know, I feel like Yuki quite old as well. Kuta and Flyball, some of the oldest. You already sent the...
Greetings, Yuki. Early.
The problem is, I look at that and I don't entirely know how to use that, because I was also gonna... My brain was like, can I use that in combination with just like the Steam library header? I could probably work something out, you know? I could probably work something out, but... Alright, that started as a yawn, and then I just turned it into something else. But yes, you did send that already. I don't know exactly how you intended me to use it, because I look at that and I'm just like, am I supposed to insert myself there and do that? Look, I'll work something out, but for now, I am hungry, I am tired, and I want to do other things as well. But for now, like I said, redoing the outro. Thank you everyone who came, everyone. Hope everyone had a good time. Everyone old new. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Have a good time. And as always, bye bye.